King Moshoeshoe I was praised of having good qualities of a true leader. This is said to be a challenge to the present leaders to highly consider this kind of lecture and make them develop Basotho lives.
It is my opinion, Your Majesty and esteemed guests, that the calling of historians like me is to remind us of our true selves, of this nation's highest achievements, so that we have the courage to rise, taking examples from our forebearers, the real owners of this country. As a political scientist, I'm here to suggest to us that it is possible to break out of this vicious circle that this nation is caught up in. Lectures like this should be about igniting thought processes that shall enable us to have real impact on the life of Lesotho.
Mr. Kalusi Ramagula stated that King Moshoeshoe was a brave leader who made all attempts to ensure the protection of his nation. He said King Moshoeshoe, like many other kings of that era, forcefully attained his kingship, but finally built peace with his enemies after Mohlomi's advice.
That was the Morena Moshoeshoe who was violent, but already was accumulating cattle, he was becoming rich, but of course there were many corpses that his posse of former initiates, council, had walked on. And his grandfather took him to one of the greatest philosophers of the world, a sage, Morena Mohlomi. And then he was tutored. And there he began his transformation. And given the tenets of good leadership, leadership that is centered around love.
Apart from that, King Moshoeshoe made all attempts to unite the Basotho nation, which ultimately resulted to the hard-working nation that produced much to survive, thus eradicated poverty and ensured self-reliance. Basotho nation therefore was renowned of being a peaceful and prosperous nation.
The famished people arrived in Thaba Bosiu. 2 years later, these people were so affluent that they could receive refugees coming from other areas of Southern Africa who had no food, nothing. They fed them. And from that time onwards, the Basotho were only rising and rising and rising.
King Moshoeshoe I was born in Mekwane in 1786. He died on the 11th March 1870. This year, the country holds his 46th memorial lecture. Miki Khutshwane, LTV News, Maseru.